Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome into Great Awakener Ether Realm. My name is Kimberly, and I do want to apologize. I did not post a video last week. I was very busy at work, and I just could not get to it. So I decided that I am going to do a video from the 3rd to the 16th. Now, if you want to watch last week's video, see if maybe any of it resonated. I think that would be pretty cool if you want to comment, see if anything resonated or didn't resonate, But if you want to skip ahead and just do this week's reading, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Now, since I've been doing a 2-week reading, my videos have been cutting off at 30 minutes. So I've been having to do a part 2 continuation with everybody. So I don't want people to just get half the video. So I just wanted to let you know that part as well. Okay. On top of that, this is my second time doing this video because I discovered too late that my microphone went out. So if my voice is sounding raspy and stuff, I do apologize. I am trying to get through these videos, okay? So, all right. So to start off, we have got the moon in Aries conjunct Chiron and square Mars in Cancer, okay? Now, Mars rules Aries and the moon rules Cancer, so we have a mutual reception going on right here, okay? Even though it's a square, it's still, the energies flow a little bit better when you have that mutual reception going on. Aries is your 3rd house of community, short distance travel, neighbors, siblings, early learning, okay? And then Cancer is your 6th house of daily habits. Your work schedule, your health routine, anything that you do on a daily basis, okay? So you got a little square going on here. So you might be thinking about traveling to a new workout place, a different gym. Maybe starting a workout routine with a sibling or some neighbors, something to that effect. We also have Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, has been in there since 2018. Really can't feel the energy until something like this triggers it, okay? So you may be healing some wounds due to your 3rd house sector. Could be your siblings, neighbors, anybody within your community, okay? Possibly your childhood wounds, okay? The 3rd house also has to do with your childhood and your early learning, okay? So the moon comes around to trigger that, and also Mars is triggering that as well. Since Chiron is a very slow-moving planet and Mars is in retrograde, it's going to come out of retrograde February 23rd, so it's almost at a standstill. This square has been and will be going on for, quite some time, okay? Then we have Mercury coming in to trine Jupiter in Gemini. Mercury in Aquarius, your 1st house, how you project yourself to the world, okay? Trining Jupiter in Gemini. Gemini is your 5th house of children, romance, and creativity. This is the creating baby section. I went over this in my last video, but if you're looking to have children, this is a great time for it. If you're not looking to have children, protect yourself, okay? And then, of course, with Mercury trining, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, so it just gives that even that much more energy to it, okay? So you have a lot of energy going the February 3rd on Monday towards your creative, and you could possibly being more creative on how you project yourself to the world, right? Maybe you might be changing up your hairstyle, your makeup, your clothes, you know. It could be anything to that effect, okay? We then have the moon moving into Taurus, where it squares Pluto in Aquarius. Taurus is our, I'm Aquarius as well, so I'm sorry if I use our, sometimes I forget who I'm speaking to. Taurus is the our fourth house, okay? Home and family, and also represents the mother as well. The moon rules Cancer, which is the natural ruler of the fourth house. So the moon itself represents the mother, okay? Something might be going on with your mom, you know, that's a possibility. And then we have Pluto in Aquarius for the next 19 years doing a lot of transforming. Pluto rules Scorpio, which is our 10th house of career and reputation. So a lot of emphasis on how you project yourself to the world and create your reputation, okay? So let's see here. Also happening on Monday and into Tuesday the 4th, we have Venus entering Aries, which again is our community sector, third house. Okay, we already kind of went over that with Chiron, but third house, community, communication, short distance travel. You might be, traveling to see some friends possibly. Venus does not like being in Aries. It's in its detriment. But it's still a benefactor, so it's still going to do good work in Aries. But while Venus, representing Libra, is all about partnerships and compromising and balancing the scales, Aries is more about yourself, okay? And how you perceive yourself and how other people perceive you, okay? So Venus can still do great work in Aries, but it's kind of grumpy in Aries, just to let you know on that one. And of course, Venus also rules Taurus as well, which is your home family sector. So you might be doing some short distance travel with your family, with your mom, Okay, and then on Tuesday, Jupiter turns direct at 11 degrees in Gemini. Again, more emphasis on creating babies. Protect yourself if you're not thinking about creating a baby. Okay. So Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and it's all about expansion. So seriously, you could expand your family if you're not careful. Okay. Okay. Now going from Tuesday into Wednesday, we have a lot of action with the moon. Okay, so you're going to see emotions and energy go up and down and up and down. Okay, so first, to start off, we have the moon squaring Mercury at 12 degrees in Aquarius in your home sector. Okay, all of these are taking place. The moon is going to be in your home sector. Okay, home and family. So first off, square to Mercury and at 12 degrees, then square to Sun at the Sun will be, 16 degrees. Then it's going to sextile Saturn at 17 degrees, and then sextile Mars at 19 degrees. And then it's going to conjunct Uranus at 23 degrees, and then it's going to sextile Neptune at 28 degrees. All in one day. That is a whole lot of moon action and emotional upheaval. It can cause some chaos, okay? So, and with the moon being in your home and family sector, that's where the focus mostly is, and then the secondary focus is where the planets are, okay? So you're talking about Aquarius, Mercury and the Sun are in the first house, which is how you project yourself to the world. And then you have Pisces, which is your value system, how you see your self-worth, how you spend money, how you earn money. Cancer is your 6th house of daily habits, your work schedule, your health routine. Okay. And then, of course, we have the sextile to Neptune, all of that, being taken care of. And, of course, we have the conjunction to our ruling planet, Uranus, as well, which a lot of people say is like chaotic and erratic, but since it's our planet, we roll with that energy quite well, okay? So you might be having some epiphanies about your family and home, okay, about your mom, maybe. And then we have the sextile to Neptune to come in and kind of clean things up a little bit, settle things down by the end of Wednesday, okay? Then the moon moves into Gemini, where it trines Pluto and sextiles Venus and then conjuncts Jupiter. And that is going into Thursday the 6th, okay? Again, your 5th house, the baby making zone, creativity, children, romance, okay? Yeah, I don't feel like I have to repeat myself too much. But it comes in and makes a trine to Pluto, which is all about transformation, is also about sex and intimacy, okay? So you got your romance and your sex and your intimacy. Just going to throw that out there, okay? So going on to the 7th on Friday, we have got Venus sextiling Pluto. Again, so a lot of people, the lovers are considered Mars and Venus of the zodiac, but there's also this special relationship that goes on between Venus and Pluto as well. Okay, and I'm going to go into this little story. If you're into Greek or Roman mythology, it brings an even more profound understanding to Western astrology. And of course, if you can add astronomy into that, you can see the whole picture. Okay, and it brings this more profound understanding. Okay, so the story of Pluto and Persephone. I'm just going to paraphrase real quick. Pluto kidnaps Persephone. Demeter, her mother, or Ceres, goes to Zeus and petitions to get her daughter back. Zeus compromises with Pluto, and Persephone spends 6 months in the upper world with her mom and 6 months in the underworld with Pluto. So Demeter is the goddess of agriculture. Demeter is very happy when Persephone is up top with her, right? So she plants her seeds and she makes things grow and everything's beautiful, spring and summer. And then when Persephone has to go into the underworld, Demeter gets, mad and depressed and misses her daughter, so she doesn't do anything. She doesn't do her work, and then everything dies, and that is fall and winter, okay? So Venus is going to go retrograde March 1st. It's going to come up here to about Chiron, and it's going to go retrograde, and it will go back into Pisces, where it will hit that point again with the conjunction that I was talking about a couple weeks ago. There was a conjunction between Neptune, Venus, the moon, and the North Node. A very karmic point. We will not be seeing that conjunction ever again in our lifetimes. Okay? So when Venus goes retrograde, the sun comes up and takes over Venus. Now, right now, Venus is known as the evening star. You see it in the evening when the sun sets in the western horizon, right? So when the sun overtakes Venus, we can't see Venus, and that is when she is going into the underworld. When she comes out the other side, she is now the morning star because she rises before the sun in the eastern horizon, okay? So that is why Venus has the evening star, the morning star, and Lucifer, Pluto. okay, going into the underworld. So, and you know, there are differences in which story you read from which author. You know, there are different takes on it, but that is me paraphrasing this story. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, Venus goes retrograde March 1st in Aries and then backs into Pisces for 6 weeks. Okay. But right now, we just have a nice little sextile with Pluto and Venus in your first house and your communication sector. So you might be doing a little short distance travel, maybe to see a sibling, maybe with some neighbors. You know, you might be communicating in different ways, transforming the way that you communicate. Okay. Let's see. Also, Friday on the 7th, we have a lot more moon action again. The reason being is all of the planets right now are between Aquarius and Cancer. So for you, Aquarius is your first house, the way that you project yourself into the world. Your second house, your self-worth, your value system, the way you earn money, the way you spend money. Your third house, community, neighbors, siblings, communication, how you communicate, short distance travel, commerce. Okay, it can also have to do with trading and buying things and selling and, you know, commerce. Fourth house, home and family, is Taurus. Gemini is your fifth house, romance, children, creativity. Cancer is your sixth house, is your daily habits, health routine, work schedule. Okay, so that's why everything is being so emphasized on just this side of the chart. Like all of the planets are going to be on this side of the chart, and nothing's going to move from Cancer until I believe it's April 18th when Mars goes back into Leo. Okay, except of course for the moon. So, but the moon is still going to be making aspects to all these planets, you know, like right next to each other. So going back to Friday, the 7th, we have got the moon trining Mercury at 12 degrees, or excuse me, 17 degrees this time. Moon trining the sun at 18 degrees. Okay, and then moon square Saturn at 18 degrees. Then we have the moon sextile Chiron at 19 degrees. Then we have the sun sextile Chiron at 19 degrees. So anything between 17 and 19 degrees on Friday, if you have any natal planets within those degrees or in very close proximity within about 5 degrees, those planets are going to be getting hit the most with a whole lot of energy, okay? And then we have a little bit of a respite, and then the moon comes in and squares Neptune in Pisces. Squares and oppositions from the moon to Pisces can be very ethereal, but it's when you can also see the not so good side of the planets as well when you have the squares and the oppositions. So I'm going to kind of go into this explanation, and then we're going to talk about this later in the report as well. The good side of Neptune is spirituality, unconditional love, the ethereal, daydreaming, dreams, okay? The not so great part of Neptune is escapism, using substances, just taking it way too far, okay? And becoming confused with reality, you know. That tends to happen when you have squares and oppositions with Neptune, especially concerning the moon, which is all about emotions. And we all know that emotions can be good and bad, right? They can be taken to the extreme, and they can be taken just completely void of emotion as well, right? So when you have this square here, It's squaring your 5th house of children, romance, and creativity, and your 2nd house of values and money, the way you earn it, the way you spend it. It could be something as simple as maybe just spending too much money, okay? Maybe you get in the mood and you kind of do some online shopping, spend a little bit too much money. Or it could be, you know, a little more on the heavier side and be a little more, you know, escapism with like a substance abuse and such, okay? So I just want to throw that out there, just to, and plus with it's squaring the lunar nodes, it can create a lot of karma as well. Okay, so please keep yourself safe. Also be safe with other people. And I'm going to leave it there. Okay, you just don't want to start that karmic wheel up. Okay, by doing something that you might regret. Okay, let's see here. Going into Saturday the 8th, the moon moves into Cancer, where it squares Venus in Aries. Cancer, again, is your 6th house of daily habits and routines, squaring your community sector, the way that you communicate. Maybe you might be doing some short distance travel to a new gym or something. You know, I'm trying to throw different scenarios out here that, you know, yeah. Everything's going to be different for everybody, really. You know, there can be so many scenarios even within just those limited subjects, okay? We also have Mercury sextiling Chiron at 19 degrees. Again, the wounded healer could be healing a lot of communication issues, short distance travel. Maybe you're getting a car fixed, okay? And of course, with Mercury being the natural ruler of the 3rd house, and it, you know, sextiling, you know, our 3rd house, you know, a lot of emphasis on communication and short distance travel. And okay, so Sunday the 9th, Mercury conjuncts the Sun at 20 degrees in Aquarius. If you have, if your Sun is around that area, you know, it'll be a good day. And then Mercury is going to overtake the Sun after that, okay? We also have Mars trining Saturn, and then the Moon coming in to join that trine to amplify it. Now, I'm not sure if I went over this or not, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself after doing these readings. This would be my 14th reading. Saturn and Mars, a lot of people would think would be like oil and water, but they actually work very well together under the right circumstances. Saturn is all about discipline, reaching your goals, you know, tightening the belt to, you know, reach the goals that you have set. Okay. Mars is all about passion and intensity. But if you can mix those two together, passion and intensity, to reach your goals, it actually works very beautifully. In fact, Mars is actually exalted in Capricorn, which Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So because it means that you can focus and you can, you know, get your goals done. The Moon comes in Cancer, which it rules, and amplifies that energy. Okay, so you might be setting a goal in your financial sector, and maybe setting a goal for your self-worth in your daily habits. Maybe you're trying to change something about your daily habits. Maybe changing your diet, maybe changing your health routine, maybe changing your work schedule, okay? But this comes in to amplify that energy. Now, Mars is in retrograde at the moment. Earlier, probably last year, Mars, yeah, it would have been last year, Mars would have trine Saturn at an earlier degree. And then it goes into retrograde, it's trining it again. Saturn is going forward. When Mars comes out of retrograde on the 23rd, it's going to trine Saturn again. So, you know, third time's a charm. You get to kind of go back and forth and, you know, decide on what goal you're going to set, and then you're going to decide and make that decision and go for it. Okay? So, it's a very good aspect. Okay? Let's see here. And of course, we also, again, hit that square. You know, we hit this square with Chiron and Mars, and now we hit this square with Chiron and Mars. They're very slow-moving planets, and they're going to keep up the square for a little while now, okay? Then the moon is going to sextile Uranus in Taurus. So your home and family sector and your daily habit sector. So you may be the habits that you may be changing may have to do with your home and family. Okay? Then the moon comes in to trine Neptune, which is a very nice, you know, when you have a trine, it usually brings out the good sides of the planets, you know, so relaxing, daydreaming, you know, very a nice calmness to it. Okay. Then 10th on Monday, we have the moon moving into Leo, where it makes an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius and a trine to Venus in Aries. So again, it's basically just going to trigger this sextile again, and then Leo is your 7th house of partnerships. So maybe you might have this being triggered with a partner now, okay? It also includes your open enemies, just to throw that out there as well. But, you know, partnerships, community, and the way that you project yourself into the world, okay? Which is going to be transforming for the next 19 years. And every time the moon comes and hits it, another planet comes and hits Pluto, it's going to trigger it. Okay? Let's see here. We also have Mercury. So the Monday the 10th going into Wednesday the 12th, we have a lot of intertwining energies. So I'm just going to explain it in all at the same time here. Mercury is going to come in and square Uranus in Taurus at 23 degrees. Then the sun is going to come in and square Uranus. The moon is going to come in and oppose the sun, which of course is a full moon at 24 degrees. Okay? So we are going to have a full moon in Leo at 24 degrees, conjunct Mercury and square Uranus, our ruling planet. Now, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. The sun is the ruler of Leo, and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So there are a lot of fixed energies in this full moon. If you have anything within the 24 degree mark, within about 5 degrees, those planets are going to be triggered the most. Okay? So if you're a third decan Aquarius, you're going to get hit the most. Okay? So the moon, the fixed energy is all about making decisions and standing firm in those decisions. Aquarians are usually very well known for taking in all the facts of a certain subject and making a good, solid decision and sticking by it. Now, they're usually open to, you know, getting more facts and people telling them new stuff and possibly changing their decision. But unless they get some new, you know, information in there, they're going to, you know, fixed signs are very well known for just being stubborn. And sometimes people are just being stubborn just to be stubborn, right? Not because they're actually, write about the cause, right? But